Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be unboxing the Groove LED light strip. One thing I do want to make note of before I start the video is there was damage on my box when it arrived, but everything was fine once I put it all together, so it's not that big of a deal. So first off, we've got the strip itself, which should work on any 55 or 65-inch TV, they claim. It's USB-C on one side, with 3M adhesive tape on the back. So here's a little thank you card, a quick simple instruction guide. It's not really necessary when you go to set it up. And then here's sort of a warranty manual and another additional guide on how each bit works. So first off, opening up this box, we have the brain / physical buttons for it. It's got a power button, brightness, mode button. It's got a USB-C, a USB-A, and then a power port. This is meant to go on the back of the TV. We have some little sticks for the wires on the side / if you don't want to use the 3. And we have the power brick itself, which you have to find a power port for on the back. I do wish it was powered by USB. That would make this a lot easier if they had the option to do it. If you had a powerful enough USB port. We've got these orange squares for lining up the sort of box you'll see later in setup, and we've got the camera itself. You do have to have a camera in here, and there is a microphone on the camera, and this device is connected to the internet. That may bother some of you if you've got this TV in your bedroom or whatever, but obviously the camera is not pointed at you. But theoretically the microphone could be turned on. Here it is on the website. It's actually currently sold out. I got it for $50. It was on sale for a Valentine's Day sale, I think. I don't know, but it's $71.99 listed on their site. And then, but there is an alternative. They've got this one, which is just these two light bars that go on the side. This one's $69.99. They still have this one in stock. So here's the light strip sort of laid out. It's got the built-in connections where you could turn it. It's got a little bit of extra width, so if you do go 55 or 65. One thing I do want to make note of is it says it works for all TVs, but if you notice, I've got a lip on mine, and it's super thin in the back. It's an LG OLED, so it doesn't really want to stay up the way it should, so I have to mess with it a bit. So I did end up laying everything behind the TV because I do have a wireless setup. Here's a little instruction card, sort of gets you started. And then there is an issue of the things underneath it, so I've got that little box there. I did manage to get it stuck on, sort of, using only the front adhesive, but I knew it wouldn't stay. I used this little piece of tape to mark the center where I measured it out, so I put the camera. And then going through the instructions, it's got the device name. You've got to set up the Wi-Fi so you can connect to it on your phone. You got to calibrate it. It's also got a user guide on there, and it is Google Assistant and Alexa compatible. I do use it for that, but I also wish it had some additional features that I'll explain later. So it tells you where you got to put the squares for calibration if you've got it on the top or bottom. I actually ended up putting it on both and then making some adjustments later on to sort of fit my setup more. And it really isn't that bad to set up. Most people should be able to do it. So here's actually what the camera sees. It shows you got to line up these little dots with the orange sort of things, which really doesn't see them well on a 65. I would be interested to try this on a 55 and see if it actually functions better. For some reason, it took a little while. It wouldn't want to hook up to the Wi-Fi. Eventually, I unplugged it and just let it sit, plugged it back in, and it did work. I ended up using one of the phone squares, actually, stuck to the back to give it something to stick to. And so it worked all right. First off, I mean, I don't like seeing the camera on top, but it is what it is. This TV is in my bedroom, and I do sit on my bed to watch it. I've also got surround sound speakers on the side, which kind of ruins it a little bit. And that light also makes the cables for the speakers themselves really noticeable, because I didn't used to notice them until I had the ambilight on. But that's all right, honestly. So a couple of issues I do have with this. Like when you turn it off, the color still stays on, but it is what it is. Here's a color test. You can see it gets the basic color right, but it doesn't quite get as accurate as a Hue system does. But a Hue system's going to cost $230 for the box, the HDMI box alone, and then an additional $100 and something depending on which ones you go through for the LED strips. So yeah, the colors are pretty good, and I would recommend it for somebody who's basic into this and who's not really mindful of it. One of the reasons I did go with this over the hue wasn't just cost. So the hue maxes out at 4K 60 FPS at 10-bit color. So I have this TV running at 4K 120 Hertz, and I do use that 20 Hertz with a Series X and a gaming PC that I have in here. So being able to run it at the full 120 Hertz was important to me, and there's also no sort of compatibility issues because all it is just a camera guessing on the colors. As you can sort of see on the top by where the camera itself is, sometimes the colors aren't as accurate when it's really close to the camera because it can't quite see it. And then here's the TV off, and it just holds on whatever color was last, and I don't like that. So what I did was I ended up cutting off this piece of plastic and putting it on the bottom. So it gets the bottom color wrong by the camera, but it doesn't matter because where I'm sitting, you can't see it because the center channel speaker sort of obstructs it. You can see it's red there when it really shouldn't be. But it gets the top color right, which was more important to me, and I don't look at the camera. I don't notice it since it's on that speaker. And then here it is in all white, which I do have it turn on like that, but it doesn't sort of stay like that if the TV's off. There are some software bugs, but I think those will get fixed online. Hardware-wise, it's not bad, and it's definitely a good competitor for the Hue. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.